When it comes to branding, we've been doing this for over 18 years, working with high level thought leaders, helping them to really think about what are the steps that they need to take with their brand so it can grow and scale to even greater levels than where they're at. But there's this little secret that we have found with our clients that seems to really flip the script on what everyone else is doing. And I'm not really sure why other agencies aren't talking about this or teaching it this way, but we have really found that it is the missing link to making your brand strategy work even better and make your satisfaction in business grow even higher. And that's what we want to talk about today.
Yep. And I've researched this. I have actually searched for other agencies and other even YouTube videos and just looking for that. I'm like, surely somebody's thought of this and I haven't found it.
Well, and with the clients that we work with, we really like to teach this 3-step process of getting clear, getting noticed, and getting paid, because we find that clients like to hop around and do things out of order. But what we want to talk about today is that first step, that step of getting clear and what we do differently than any other agency that we have come across. So when it comes to getting clear, this is your chance to really think about what is it that you want out of your business. And I don't know why it's not being taught this way, but we have found that most agencies are teaching that when you come to your brand strategy and you're coming up with ideas, you're supposed to think about your ideal client first. That's not what we do. We want you to think about them, but that's the second step.
Yeah. And I mean, we've all done like hundreds of these exercises of what's your ideal client? What brands do they like? Where do they live? What's their demographics? All that stuff. And that's good to know, but that's not where you should start. And most branding agencies start with this. Oh, let's figure out your ideal client first. And then we'll figure out the brand. And we're like, why would you do that? Because now you're building it around somebody that might not be the right fit for the type of business you're trying to create.
And I think especially with the clients that we serve, you are established businesses already. You know who your ideal clients are. The bigger question is, who are the ideal clients for where you want to go?
Yep.
But that comes second, because what I want you to do every day, I want you to get up and to be excited about what you're doing, to not have anything part of your business model that is going to bring you down, that is going to make you feel like you're beholden to someone else. So where we start in our process of getting clear is getting clear on your business model. This is massive. Like, this is your chance to say, okay, I've been around a while. I know what's proven and what's working, but we want to slow you down and help you look at that business model and say, does everything that you offer actually light you up? Like, are you excited to deliver on these things? Or is there something in your back pocket, like a lot of our clients, that they continue to offer, but when their clients ask for it, they inwardly groan? Well, that's your own fault. You're the one who's leaving that on your website, or you're still talking about it from stage, or it's something that you're still bringing up in social media. If you are directing people to items that you no longer want to offer, then that's something that you have the power to end. And it all starts with digging deep into that business model. So, Gretchen, I'm curious, is there something when it comes to the business model that you like to start with first?
I think the first question I would ask the business owner is, how do you want to spend your time? Because that's something that they don't quite think about. A lot of times the business owner is focused on the product, or how they're going to grow the business, how many employees they're going to have, and all this stuff. And they don't really think about their involvement in the business and what does that look like with their time. And when we sit down and we go through this exercise with the business model part of it, now we're talking about time and how do we save you time? How do we figure out what products can be, recurring revenue, or what products can be something that are pretty self-sufficient? A lot of times that's the light bulb moment for them is, oh, I didn't think about that. They've been in business for so many years and they're so used to doing the work that when we talk about a rebrand, it's like, well, yeah, this is your opportunity to step back away from those things that are draining you and move towards the things that are really exciting you and making you that recurring revenue.
Yeah, well, and I've also noticed, even if it's a business owner who they are thinking about time and their time in particular, one other thing we run across is clients who maybe aren't thinking about the time for their team. and what all their team has involved. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking specifically about when it comes to the products that are offered and how much time and energy is going into maintaining those products. So when we go back to that idea of, are you keeping something out there on your website or in your product offerings that you like inwardly die every time somebody asks for it? That's your own freaking fault. So how do we fix that? Really, you have to take that time to go through your ascension model. Like, what are all of the products you have? So let's use an example of somebody who's in health and wellness. You know, typically you're going to start out, there's some form of an opt-in or a lead magnet. There's all different kinds of versions of that. I'm sure you've already been using one. So let's say you've got an email series that goes out once somebody signs up, and that email series has videos, and then it leads to a first small paid product. You need to go literally from the very beginning of that funnel all the way through to what product is that offering, and then what does that product lead to? What are the little signals that you're giving people all the way through? Because a lot of times what you're going to find in there, especially if you have been around 8, 10, 15, 30 plus years, like a lot of our clients, you're going to find things in those funnels that you completely forgot you offered. And guess what else you're going to find? A bunch of broken links, a bunch of things that don't match your current branding. Like, this is why we want to go through. And my ultimate goal for helping a client think about their business model first is I actually want to help free up your time. I want you to get rid of anything that feels like it's dragging you down or draining creativity. Because I think that's something that we really see a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to creativity, usually when someone's coming in, they're ready for a rebrand or they're ready to take their brand to the next level, it's because you're excited about a new idea. So the reason we make you back up and take a big picture look at your business model is because we want to find any little pocket we can pull from to give you more time and creative energy. And so when we do that, and we can go through your offerings, and you can give yourself permission to say, okay, screw it, I'm getting rid of that one. Like, I don't need that piece anymore. Oh my gosh, just like we watch the weight fall off our clients' shoulders, which is really fun. And once you've gone through that portion of looking at what offers do you have that maybe you don't need to include anymore, my next favorite thing to dig into is really, what offers do you have that are 80% completed that you just never finished? Have you seen that before?
Yes. I'm also, this brought to mind a client we worked with recently where the
No
thought
names.
of rebrand, yeah, no names. Well, I think we're in an NDA with this one anyway, but they had so many products and things that the thought of rebranding just kept becoming overwhelming for them. It was just like, oh my gosh, well, what about this? And then we got to this, and then they just, their mind, you could just see their mind just spinning with all the things. And when we got through the get clear process, we had eliminated so many things. We're like, but you don't need that anymore. But you don't want to do that product anymore. You don't want to do that webinar anymore. You don't want to go through that and have all these things. And they were like, yeah. So we kept eliminating until we pared it down to, like, I think it was down to 2 or 3 things that they did really well, that were sustainable. They were scalable. They could really just grow that and focus on that. And that took that big rebranding project down to something that was so manageable and so easy. And I'm pretty sure at the end of the project, this person said this was the easiest, smoothest thing that they had ever done. And it was because we had gone through this model. We'd eliminated all the stuff that wasn't necessary and down to the things that they really truly wanted to do. And it's just been, I mean, it's been smooth sailing ever since.
Well, and I also think it's a process that is so unexpectedly fun.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like, oh no, I have to wade through all these things. No, what you get to do is, first of all, you get to see that glimpse of all that you've built, which is a great reminder of where you started and where you've come. But then you get to give yourself that permission to let go of those things and say, I want to do something that's going to light me up every day. And then I'm going to find those ideal clients that want what I already love to do right here, right now. Because chances are, if you are a business that's been established, you've been around for a while, you personally have changed since you started your business. So your interests have probably changed. The things that you're excited to talk about has changed. Your industry has probably shifted. So I think that's one thing that brings so much new vibrance and creative energy into a rebrand is when you get to go through that history, clean out the things that you no longer need, and really open yourself up for the opportunity to advocate for yourself,
Yep.
by yourself, for yourself. And at the end of the day, that means you finally love what you're doing. And guess what? Then that means the ideal clients that you want to offer this to, they're going to love it even more because they're going to feel that energy coming directly from
Yep.
you.
That nugget is always in there. It's always in there. Every time we've done this with a client, we've been able to uncover that one thing that they're like, yes, I want to do more of that. I could do that all day long. We can find that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that catapults them into that next level with their rebrand.
And I think there's so much more that we could dig into when it comes to brand strategy and to getting clear. But this is really that missing link piece.
Yep.
Be an advocate for yourself first. Figure out what you want to do today, what you're energized to do today, because then you have all that momentum behind you to carry through to your team, to carry through to your marketing, and then ultimately to carry through to those ideal clients that need exactly what you have to offer. So if you have any questions about your rebrand and the steps that you want to take, comment below, leave those. We're happy to get back to you and to help you really think through your next step of getting clear.